So there's a lot of guys in crypto, they die, their stack dies with them. And there's a lot of guys in crypto that have way more money than they can ever spend, and they either die with it or get busted by the feds with it, and which is weird. So stable coins don't work like that. So if a person's got a huge stack of crypto and they die, that benefits all the other holders sometimes. But in a stable coin, if a person dies with a whole bunch of stable,
yeah,
who's a benefit? It just benefits the issuer. It doesn't benefit any of the other holders.
right. Yeah.
So stables are this weird thing where you get all the downside compounded. This issuer could screw you, the algo could screw you, the chain could screw you, the bank could screw you, the regulator could screw you. You get more people that could screw you, but you also don't get a yield, and you don't get any FDIC insurance. And so it's kind of it's an unfortunate kind of necessary evil that crypto is so volatile that once every 3 years you got to de-risk, and it's unfortunate.
Richard, I gotta ask a question if you don't mind. How come Hex doesn't use Stark Snark?
Dude, that stuff wasn't even existing when Hex come out, bro. Like it wasn't even a thing.
Understood. I have zero knowledge for like 20 years. I just didn't know if you guys had ever tried that or were interested in it at all.
Well, I mean, look, it existed, but unless someone has actually used it, audited it, put it in production, anytime you use the new cutting edge stuff, you're the guy that's going to lose the millions of dollars to find out where the bug was.
Yep.
And so Hex was the first project in the world that was airdropped on.
Hey guys, hold on 1 second. We've got some new security here. What we got some cards fast to do. Right. What were they saying? What's the latest here?
So, the name Steven said we're not actually looking for them. Tether closer down by the all not here. So I said, I'm sure this messing garbage multiple chain down. We're up to them.
Okay.
So that they can text back down. Clear communication. Honestly,
it is Deltec Bank for sure.
We are not here to harass them.
Yeah, we're not here to harass. We just want an interview. That's all we want. We just want to come in and talk. Like, I own Tether. I own USDT. As a person that owns USDT, shouldn't I be able to come in there and ask some questions at my bank? I mean, is it that far out and asinine? And I think that Richard's making some good points about counterparty risk. One thing people need to understand is the way that a lot of these yield platforms were working and a lot of these VC arms. Obviously, you have Alameda, you have Jump Trading, you had Celsius. Celsius was not even the top 10, by the way, of people that borrowed were borrowing USDT. But basically, they were borrowing this and they were trying to make money on it. And when they make the money on it, they have to give it back to the bank. So the bank is heavily involved in this. It's not just Tether itself. We definitely, we've been told that maybe the specific Tether building itself, we may drive there in just a second, but we're still trying to talk to people at Deltec. And they're right. Oh, yeah, of course. So people have to understand, we know for 100% that we are at the right place. Because yesterday when we went to old Deltec Bank, which let me tell you, when you pull up on a bank and there's not a single piece of furniture and there's concrete floors everywhere that look like they've been blasted and there's, empty wall sockets and all kinds of stuff, you get a little concerned when this is supposed to be an $80 billion company, minimum. But we talked to security and they walked us to a front door that had a sign on it that said that they were refurbished. And they said, literally, I think this is called the Lyford K building, 5th floor. We literally got it from the door on Deltec Bank. So we know we're at the right place. But see, here is the shell game, okay? The shell game is everything. This is what Dan Friedberg has set up for a lot of these companies, okay? Stuart Hogner also good friends with Dan Friedberg, as we know. And the fact is they set this up to be confused. So we can come here and we can demand to speak to Deltec Bank, and Deltec Bank can send someone out and say, oh, well, you actually want to go talk to Tether. They're down the street. And so we go down there and Deltec's like, we don't have anything to do with Tether. We just hold $80 billion of it. And so then we go down there to Tether and we try to talk to those people, and then those people will send us somewhere else. They'll say, oh, well, you actually need to go talk to FTX, go to FTX headquarters. So then we end up at FTX headquarters, where we tried to get into yesterday, and they kick us off there as well. And you find it's set up like this on purpose. This is how they've done it to keep the questions at bay. Unfortunately for them, Sam pissed me off a couple months ago. So I hate it for them that they're getting wrapped up in this. But the fact that actually I don't hate it for them. I want the truth. This is what we want. We want the truth. We want them to come down and talk to us. We don't want them to deflect. We don't want them to send us down to Tether. I can't tell you after we leave here, we will certainly be going to Tether, but I'm going to stay here until somebody comes out, makes a statement, talks to us, whatever it is. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm either going to end up in jail or they're going to come talk to me. I mean, this is what happens here. At some point, they've got to come out of their little hiding spot up there. And I know the guy's been back in the window taking pictures again, so I know they're the guy that flipped us off. Who is that guy? Who's the guy that flipped us off up there? Do you know, security guard? You don't know. What's your name? Stefan? Stefan's cool, man. We like Stefan. We like the security guard. We love the security guards.
How can the average person help investigate this from their computer computer or from their laptop or from their phone, you know, what should they be looking? Should they be Googling what Deltec owns, what properties they own, what are the banks they should own, or maybe they should look into like what are the loans Deltec has put out, or what do you think?
Well, I think when you look at Deltec, Deltec was brought to the Bahamas, I believe, in 1987. Was that right? In 1985. Deltec has been here since 1985 in the Bahamas. It preceded, obviously, crypto. It preceded Tether. It preceded the Omni blockchain. It preceded all of that stuff by a considerable amount of time. I guess 22 years or so before Bitcoin was created when they came out. So this bank has been involved in a lot of stuff for a long time, but I don't know enough about Deltec Bank tell you it's a bad company or anything like that. That's not what this is about. All I know is their connection to Tether, and everyone down here in crypto knows of the connection to Deltec and Tether. And when you really start doing your homework here and you really start looking around, you start seeing the scope of what all this is about. So there's my guy. There he is. He's in the window.
Maybe
he's in the window. Okay, come on down, guy. Come on. He didn't flip us off this time. He must know that we're trying to off. But Brian, am I listening to him on the headphones here for a reason? I hear TJ in my headphones.
So
I'm on into my live
people
stream right
should
now.
look into
So I'm just on
what connection Deltec has with Citibank and the deposits that they may make between each other.
Now, was that in reference to the Brett Harrison or to Sam Trabucco? There was a question that Sam Trabucco got asked about the way they send money deposits from Tether and Deltec Bank, and I think if it went over into America, it crosses over to wire fraud, and I think they were trying to catch him on something. So is that what you're referring to? You want to talk about that for a minute?
I think everyone used Silvergate for that, no?
Yeah, I can do this and have these clear switching.
I'm not certain. I was actually asking.
Okay, but I can't do it.
Is this what's been happening? Because we've heard this and we've heard that.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hand off my phone on Twitter Spaces to AJ for a couple minutes while I jump on my channel. So he's gonna run this. We're gonna keep it going until they come out, but I need probably about 5 minutes.
Need help with a co-host, Ben? I'm happy to help if you need.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
AJ,
sure.
You're such a generous friend.
So,
One
I mean,
second.
the thing you
Hey,
guys can all do.
How's everybody doing? AJ Wrights Crypto here, reporting from outside of supposedly the Tether headquarters. Basically yesterday we went to a spot and they were doing renovation, and then it said that this is the new spot, and we know for a fact that the 5th floor of this building is indeed their HQ, but they don't want us here. And does anyone want to jump in and want to answer that question? Why they don't want a free chance to prove their innocence?
Because let's be serious, guys. There's not a single thing they could say that you would accept as evidence, except audited stuff that they don't want to give anybody. So there's nothing they could say that would make you be like, oh, cool, it's all good. It's always going to be
fair.
opaque.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, this entire game is about optic, and the fact that someone with a badge on their shirt doesn't come out and shake Bitboy's hand to save face does speak volumes. Their silence is speaking volumes to me.
Oh yeah,
you would at least think someone would come out and shake a hand and save face.
Oh yeah,
I feel you on that. But the thing is, remember, the best thing you guys can do that are listening is to take your private keys and your coins and your own possession and stop sucking middleman D, because you are the reason that all this money's been lost. All these people that stole all this money stole it because you let them steal it, because you're all idiots.
Yeah.
I told you all to remove all your coins from BlockFi for years. Everyone else had a BlockFi referral link. Now BlockFi is bankrupt as of a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Told you the same thing for Celsius. Told you the same thing for exchanges. Told you the same thing for everything. And it's just, I've been in crypto since 2011. Every bull run, everybody starts a fund and everyone goes bankrupt. Every bull run. So.
And Richard, I don't know if you remember, but we had a conversation at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta the night we saw the weekend in the box suite there, and I asked you first if you had to give advice to someone coming up in crypto, what would be your advice? And your advice was to not day trade. And I spent a long time chewing on that piece of advice, and I think because you have to be on exchanges, you have to constantly be in and out of Tether, which is I'm kind of concerned. I don't currently hold any more Tether since a couple months ago, actually. But would you like to elaborate on that point you made to the audience?
So quite simply, the people that get rich in crypto are holders and founders, and everyone else gets annihilated. There is an exception. There's referral link guys. The referral link guys in general can only make money on you getting destroyed margin trading. So if there's if the referral link, most YouTubers with funny face pictures, they're just promoting a margin trading link, and they know all their users get destroyed. They know all their users get liquidated. They know all their users get chopped up by fees because they get a report, and it shows how much their cut of the losses was. And so, if you want to be good and wholesome and honest and make the world a better place, you got to think, well, how do you help the users? How do you help the guys you're really trying to help? I mean, are you trying to make Tether another billion? Are you trying to make an exchange another billion? Are you trying to get Brian Armstrong another billion? And the answer for me is no. They have enough billions. Another billion wouldn't even make them even any happier. And it's just going to sit in the bank and get deployed by guys with, the worst moral compass that don't even care about crypto. So, if you want to help the common man, you stop them from getting hacked. You help them to not get scammed. No free giveaways. Be very careful with free airdrops. Don't connect to weird dApps. Anyone that messages you is trying to scam you. Anyone that DMs you is trying to scam you. It's almost always an imposter with a misspelled username, and it's very hard to catch these misspellings sometimes, especially if they can use foreign character sets. Yeah. And then don't take counterparty risk. And for God's sake, don't trade. I mean, I bet you more people lost their stacks trading than they did in these collapses. Because think about it. Where did FTX lose all their money? Alameda. Where did Alameda lose all their money? Trading. Yeah. Oh, oops. Yeah. Okay. And where did Genesis lose their money? Well, kind of trading, like making loans is trading. So, and another thing people don't understand is when you take a loan against your crypto, you actually just sold it. You don't realize it. You're actually just leveraged long. So you can't just take loans against stuff and think it's free money. It's not how it works. So
I remember what you said to us exactly was the 3 L's: ladies, liquor, and leverage.
Yeah.
And
I've been in Bitcoin since 2011. I mined it at 50 cents. I bought it at $30. My introduction was the death market. It went right down to $2 over the next 6 months. And I didn't see break even until a year and a half later total.
Yeah.
And I posted this chart yesterday. And it's like, I was born in the bear market. I was raised by it. I see it every 3 years. And it's like everyone else thinks it's never going to happen. They think it's this time is different. They do all the same stupid stuff over and over again. And I think if I had more followers that people could be saved. And it's sad. So look, follow me, Richard Hart Win. But if the people that listened to me were saved and the people that didn't were annihilated, I faced that scumbag Mashinsky on a live stream and told him, look, you're the opposite of why crypto was invented. Crypto is invented to get rid of middlemen. You're a middleman. You want to take people's keys from them. And then I hear Simon on Spaces all the time, and he makes money on people that take your keys from you. And at some point, you're just like, come on, man. This is the opposite of why crypto exists, bro.
Yep.
Richard, when do you think that, since you've been in crypto since 2011, I'm curious to hear your perspective on when do you think that the libertarian ethos of cryptocurrency started changing to this more statist reliancy on the government and the reliancy on CeFi rather than the actual notion of DeFi, no middlemen, and peer-to-peer economic sovereignty? When did you start seeing that ideological difference, that transition?
Well, when all the stuff they tried failed, right? So local Bitcoins was going to be the answer to centralized exchanges. And then they pretty much failed. And now, no one uses it. And then, there was going to be a local cryptos that was going to try and do it for Ethereum. I guess that didn't work out. Then there was going to be BISC. And then there was no order book depth. There was no liquidity. And then every attempt at actually decentralizing the worst pain point in crypto, which is the exchange layer, the layer that's not the crypto. The worst pain point in crypto is getting out of the suck and into the good stuff. Crypto is the good stuff. The suck is this counterparty risk crap. And the dollar really that only goes down. So and then you can't build on it, right? So we do have massive, gigantic, insane liquidity for Ethereum, USDC, USDT, DAI on chain on Ethereum. And so basically Uniswap and automated market maker, constant product, and now they have CLOB, right? So you can do single-sided liquidity on Uniswap now. So it kind of acts like a central limit order book. You don't have to do it symmetrical. That revolutionized and de-risked so many people. There's so many people. You know who's not getting robbed? The hackers. Because the hackers just stole the money, left it on chain, and then maybe put it through a couple of on-chain exchanges, and then they didn't get counterparty risk murdered. So the hackers are the guys that get to keep all their money. The people that hacked Silk Road and the people that hacked Bitfinex and didn't margin trade the coins got to keep their coins. Everybody else, all the other people that thought they were smart, took all this off-chain risk and got totally annihilated. So I think Bitcoin lost the plot when you couldn't get mad gains anymore because the world's richest guy already bought, and so you're like stuck with limp gains forever. You're down after a 5-year hold. You're down after holding 5 years. You know, crypto used to have a good.
Yeah, just a quick heads up. Someone has come out of the building. A woman, long black hair, and she is speaking to Ben about the situation. I don't feel like she's a security guard, that's for sure. Very interested to hear how this develops. Please continue where you were. I just wanted to fill you guys in.
Sounds like you might get a date anyway.
Just maybe. We can only hope for the best, Richard.
So, you know, it's if you live by the core principles of crypto, which is not your keys, not your coins, remove counterparty risk, do not trade, do not leverage trade, do not get chopped up by getting in and out, buy and hold the right thing that's got product market fit and hold it for a long time, no one's outperformed you. So people will get leveraged up and outperform you in a bull run until they evaporate. And so this is what happened. And by the way, it makes me so angry that all of these scamming scumbag subhuman pieces of trash have more followers than me when I was right about everything and they were wrong about everything. Sam Bankman-Fried, 1 million followers. Me, 250,000. Who's the other dude? 3 Arrows Capital. Susu. Oh, I don't know. More followers than me. Every scumbag that scams everybody's got more followers than me. Mashinsky, more followers than me. Well, why? Did these guys give you free coins? No, I'm giving you free coins. Did these guys protect you and help you, or did they get you wrecked? Did these guys tell you Bitcoin was going to 10K or 100K? Well, I'm the 10K guy and I'm winning, and they're the 100K guys and they're totally bankrupt. They're in bankruptcy court, sad face, running away from anybody, hiding. And I've never been more public. So like, it's not a fair world out there. And I mean, heck, I'm even twerking my ass and wearing clown clothes and buying silly crap, and I still can't catch up on the follower count. I mean, am I that ugly? I don't get it.
Just a quick fill-in. This woman is from Tether. She kind of danced around down the edge, saying like, like we have to talk to our regulators and talk to our other people, and we're gonna kind of do that conversation between us, and then after we have that conversation, we will talk. So I will give Tether some props here for facing this and coming to talk to Ben about it. I think that is a good look for them. I think that's what they need to do. Even if like someone said, they can't prove everything like with the correct documents and whatnot, but still the fact that they are willing to talk, that says a lot, So
did you see that New York Times article about that YouTuber that gets 10 views per video that tries to bust crypto scams? And you're like, who is this guy? Like what weird corner of the planet did you guys scrape this thing out from? The thing that no one's ever seen before. And why are the people that have been here for decade and got it right over and over and over again called the top on the day? Anyone else call the top on the day? No, I call the top on the day. And it's like you just want to virtually slap these people through the internet and try and make them smarter.
Yeah, I mean, just like with any a group of friends that you could have that have questionable decision-making qualities, like you can tell them the truth and when like what they should do to your blue in the face, and they can hear you, but that doesn't mean they're going to listen. And like some people have to maybe find their own bottom or get wrecked a certain amount of times or get to a point where they are willing to listen to the right people and are willing to get their version of the truth. So there's something to be said about that too.
Yeah, they always say that one thing I've highlighted. One of my favorite quotes is that the first bull market is the one to learn from. The second one is capitalized from. That's even something true for me personally. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's something that's a philosophy that I've personally taken with me on my crypto and blockchain journey. But I want to ask you, all of the speakers here, do you believe that a reactionary response is going to come that's going to maybe bring back the principles of DeFi now that centralized exchanges are collapsing and Ben, being in the boots on the ground, and Richard, perpetuating the true ethos of cryptocurrency, bringing up that DeFi is paramount, that peer-to-peer transaction are paramount, that the need for the state is not what cryptocurrency stands for. Do you foresee a reactionary response back to the older crypto, or is that kind of
No. I mean, people with hammers thinks everything's a nail. People with screwdrivers thinks everything's a screw. And government thinks every solution is to make more laws. And when's the last time you saw a law removed? Or when's the last time you saw a tax lowered? So governments only raise taxes and only make more laws and only create more jobs for more government. That's all they do. And so, like, unless you become part of the governance process, like Bitboy is trying to do, and actually improve that from the inside a little bit. I mean, there's a saying from a quite old what's it called, philosopher. He says, like, one of the bad parts about not being part of governance is that you're destined to be ruled by your lessers. So it's like it's an unfortunate, the guys that are already sitting in America on 1 million boards of directors, talking to regulators with infinite money anyway, should be deploying some of their capital to make sure they can stay in business. So the Winklevi drone bot, whatever those two things are, the guitarist or whatever the Winklevi are now, the guys that got their users scammed by getting them into Gemini Earn, those guys, they should be deploying money similar to how Sam Bankman-Fried was, but for good, honest purposes to create more freedom crypto, not less. If it's like, guys get caught in a weird space, right? So they try and do what they think is maximally profitable for them. So if you're sitting on your Bitcoin bag, do you want your Bitcoin bag to get smaller spending it on regulators, or do you want to buy the dip? You probably want to buy the dip. Okay. And if you start an exchange like Gemini, which probably loses money is my guess. I don't think they have much volume, liquidity, users, but they do have a lot of overhead, right? They've got like a bit license or whatever. So they might think in their head like, oh, well, maybe we'll make regulation more strict and we'll kowtow and supplicate to the most harsh district there is. And then did they make any money? Did they get rich on it? No, they would have made more money buying any altcoin in the bull run. Absolutely any altcoin would have outperformed their lifetime, Gemini earnings. And you get this tragedy of the commons where it's like, guys, you actually have to give up a little bit of your stack to promote the thing that will allow you to stay in business, or it slows the on-ramping, right? So like the best thing for the Gemini dudes would be if more people bought Bitcoin since they've got big bags of it. And the best thing for Bitcoin will if people could on-ramp to it. And the easiest way for them to on-ramp to it ain't Gemini. It's to let a thousand flowers bloom and let good ideas flourish. And I think the security theater stuff and the slowing down of on-ramping of new guys really is just hurting the good, honest man, which is the majority of men, and not hurting the bad guys. I mean, the bad guys just scammed how many billions of dollars? Did they have any problems doing that scamming of the billions of dollars? No. Okay, well, who's having problems? Everyone else in the world having to send these retarded selfies. We're all having problems. It's not fair to us. Those selfies didn't help anyone not get scammed. Not a single person. They're all totally wrecked. So what's up with the selfies crap? So like this concept that like if you have a utility bill, a story, and a government ID, that solves crime somehow. You're like, no, that's more hay. They're looking for needles in haystacks. You're giving them more hay. They don't need more data. They need more injunctions. They need more investigators. They need more tools. They need more actual law enforcement stuff. Security theater, giving people too much data. And by the way, all that data gets hacked and lost and used against the people you're trying to save. Why? Because if you collect it, it will get lost every time. The United States government's secret list of secret credentials for their secret clearance stuff got lost. If the government can't protect their secrets, what do you expect normal Joe Blow guy that just started a tech startup 2 years to protect? Like
No, that's funny you say that. I was listening to a podcast last week with Lex Friedman and a former FBI agent, and he said, we only catch the bad hack, we only catch the bad ones, and that's straight from the FBI. And for the interview, we have an interview set up.
Yeah. So here, I'll jump back.
1 second. Here's Bitboy right here.
You want to do it on your account, clout? Of course.
Come on. Give me a break.
All right, so I want to give everybody an update on what has happened, what's going on here. Basically, we came over here to the old building, which, we've already told you guys what we experienced here. If you're watching on the channel, we got the footage, show you guys what is on the inside. You're going to turn that down, AJ, we're back. Basically what happened is we were up at the door taking some video of what is inside there. A representative from the communications and marketing team from Deltec Bank came down. She was very nice. Her name was Janae, and she said that they are willing to talk to us. They want us to give them a list of questions, and then we're going to go and we're going to interview. They want to be prepared for what we are going to be asked. So we're going to go eat lunch. We're going to sit down for an hour, and we're going to get the questions that we want, send it to them, and then by 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to do this interview. We're not going to do this interview live. We told them that we don't want them to feel like they're being bamboozled or that we're going to play gotcha ball. Like, we really want to give them an opportunity to tell their side of the story and let people hear it and decide for themselves. So, I mean, you got to admit, I mean, it would have been very easy for them to keep hiding and let us walk around and call the police, and they didn't do it. So, Janae was awesome. She is a good, and this is what we find. Look, I don't know Deltec Bank from Adam. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who the guy that flipped us off in the window was. The security guard was great, but I do know it. Even some of these companies that do turn out to have really, really, really bad players and really, really bad actors, is the local Bahamian people that work there are great, and there are good actors there that may or may not know what is going on each level. So we're going to give them the opportunity to be fair, and we're going to let them tell their story. And guys, we're going to go eat lunch. So I'm going to have to cut this off because now this has moved on to a place where we got to go prepare for an interview. Thank you to everybody for listening. As always, it's been really, really, really great content, I believe.
Thanks, man.
And you guys are getting the truth of what's going on. So
Thanks a lot, dude.
I'm going to take off. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully we'll have this video out later tonight where we do this interview.
Thanks, Ben.
Best luck, man.